Okay, it's Thursday. It's still early. I'm drinking my coffee. I haven't even gotten ready for the day. You'd think that I would do that and then hit record, but this is sort of how I get myself started in the morning. I'm working on my coffee. Let's have that. It's got some paint on it though. Been obsessed with birds on my balcony because I put crushed nuts and things out there. They're fancy. I don't have a garden out there, so I said, well, I'm gonna keep it active with the birds because there's some super cute little sparrows. I have two that I've named Ross and Rachel. When they show up together, they bicker, but Ross shows up more than Rachel. Rachel's very pretty. That's that. I have a relationship with a couple of sparrows. It's probably a variety of sparrows, but I just imagine it's the two of them. Only. Exclusively for me. The magpies sometimes trickle in, but they're too big. My dogs go bonkers when they see them, so I'm okay with that. The magpies can be kind of, they're gangsters in the neighborhood. They boss around the other birds and they make a lot of noise. I'm not a big fan of them. They're pretty, but we could have less magpies. Sorry, Edmonton, but I miss my old neighborhood, that townhouse, way back when I first started these videos, when we were on ground level as well. Lots of blue jays, lots of little squirrels, lots of songbirds. Actually, the cedar waxwings, I'm going to get into bird talk, but those birds are so beautiful. And the trail that was close to that place, we used to go down in the fall, and you'd see so many. They just flocked to that place. Never fed one, but I'd go there to hand feed the chickadees because I apparently just love birds. I think I've reached that age. Yeah, there's some beautiful birds here. I've seen some house finches. They're just like little pink birds. They're so cute. I didn't know that pink birds existed in Edmonton, especially. Like everything seems kind of beige or black and white. But the other day I saw a blue jay, and it was the most stunning blue jay I've seen in a long time. Holy cow. It was so silly how it was just standing there. Like it was lit from above on the sidewalk. It was also framed by cherry blossom trees. So handsome. It just like it knew flat out like I'm the best looking blue jay. And he stood there. My dogs kind of reacted because there was an animal on the ground, but it hopped to the end of the sidewalk and it stood there so that we could continue to stare at it from a distance. I was just like, that is a gorgeous bird. Holy cow. I love seeing blue jays. I sometimes associate them with my dad because my dad gave me my middle name, and I started drawing blue jays kind of after he died, and there's something masculine about that figure of the blue jay. I'll have to look up what the meaning of them are. But yeah, symbols and things like that have been popping up, and I just want to remind people that if you're dealing with anything grief related, find your symbol. Find that connection. Because when you find that connection, it's like you don't feel alone in your experience. You feel like you have something special. It feels like a nice little visit. Like I remember after breakfast died, I almost desperately looked for a visit. Like I was like, where are you? I don't know where you are. I don't know if I'm not taking the hints in how you're showing up. Because I believe in those things, honestly. Whether they show up in dreams and they're clear as day, I call that a visit. You're meant to see something there. Like when I drove from Winnipeg to Ladysmith, we stopped here. Just hotel over there. For the night, just to rest, and also intentionally to say hey to Edmonton. I was happy to be back. It was kind of weird to be back in a hotel, but I was with Birdie at the time because Grover didn't exist yet. And in the morning, took off, got myself my Egg McMuffin and decided to go over to Breakfast Field just to say goodbye before we left. Like that field I have such a connection with it, and it's why I'm kind of happy to stay here. We could stay here for years and I'd be pretty content. I would just need to change certain things up. I'm looking at that, straying off topic, but we went to that field as we were leaving. And there's this like little hill. I call it Bummy Hill because it looks like a bum. And it's got this big crack in the middle because people ride their bikes down it. Sorry. But at the top of that hill was a little blackbird. Or I guess it was a crow or a raven, because from far away it stood out. It's probably very big, but I've seen some blackbirds too. Like they're just kind of more elegant looking. Maybe that's a raven. I don't know how it works. And anyway, it just felt like a presence was there, standing there looking at us, and it just stood there. And I just kind of gave it a nod, like, all right, you're seeing us out. And that felt like something, whether or not it's a bird. I don't care who believes in it and who doesn't. It just felt like something was there. And I'm going to just shuffle cards, because part of me is getting defensive with this topic. And I think another reason why I've been holding back from sharing things, because everybody has an opinion. It doesn't mean we have to hold it all in because someone has an opinion. We'll talk about the internet in a minute. Like, I look at the ways that I hold myself back in terms of, I guess, what is spiritual about me. Because when it comes to spirituality and religion and all of that, people always have like such a harsh opinion about it. And guilty, like when I hear somebody who goes in a certain direction that I feel is kind of brainwashy, like I'm out. But if that's theirs, like I've said to other religious people who have tried to convert me, I'm happy if you're enlightened and you feel like you have something that gives you purpose and like a place here on this planet to understand life and death in the best way possible that makes sense to you. Good for you, because it's kind of scary, isn't it? And I think we need to let go of needing everyone to believe what we believe, and if they don't, it's a fight. Like, it's annoying. I get annoyed with people in that regard. Like, can we just mind our own business? We don't have to convert everybody. We don't have to have everyone agreeing with us. We just exist here. We live and die. We figure out how to do that properly by being good people. Maybe I'm a little upset by the comment section, and it was just one kid. Like, I posted, I'm still going to post more. I posted part of my AI animal collection, like the paintings that I did all winter. I'm still really proud of them. I don't care. I know there's mixed opinions. And people have said, well, you copied what you saw. Like, yeah, because I wanted something to do mindlessly. And to get to know painting again. Because you know what? When you have an image to reference, that's how you build. That's how you start to figure out like how to problem solve, how to get things to look the way that you want them to by trying. Yes. There we go. So I've been looking at this, like the ways that art has helped me. And I've been trying to put together the words to offer that as insight to other people, or to share with people who are interested in trying art as a practice. Especially in like a healing sense. I feel like our creativity keeps us very connected to ourselves in terms of like our creative inner child and all of that. Like, these are things that make up my purpose. And I'm not coming at it with defenses. I had to address that, really, because there's so many fucking opinions out there and everyone is an expert. So I posted my AI animals. I was talking about this. I just posted how, like, here's the image I made versus here's the image that AI gave me. I'm feeling pretty good about the work that I've done. I put in a lot of time. There's one right there, actually. It's fun. I'm not going to stop it, but someone chimed in. Like, I don't even remember what they said. It's not important. But it was something about me not being a real artist that I'm tracing. It was like, that's a canvas board. I do use a grid, but to like maintain the image that you're actually painting, it's hard. Painting is really hard, but it's really satisfying. Like, it looks like this in the start, and then if you keep picking at it, like, I want to redo this painting just to see how my skills have evolved since I started painting this way. Anyway, it's a way of doing things. And then all the art snobs or whoever is going to chime in and be like, using a grid is cheating, using reference is cheating. Cool. I'm doing what I'm doing. You can look at it that way. I don't know. I don't want to argue, because I don't look at what other people are doing and say it needs to be this way. You need to do it this way. You have your methods. I know the fundamentals. I've gone to school. I got my degree. I feel like what makes you an artist, because artists are rebels, is we take all the rules, we learn the sleight of hand to get the job done, but then we break the rules that we don't want. And for me, like as a kid, I grew up copying shit. Like I used reference. I used to watch cartoons, hit pause. I actually have old video cassettes that I've been watching. Hit pause and then sketch it out before the tape got tired of pausing. And then drawing it and coloring it myself. Learning how to mimic what's in front of you is learning how to sort out your problem-solving process using a reference. Like your brain needs to figure out, how do I get this image to look like that one? I just saw 1111. And for me, like the ways that I solve these problems, it's not easy peasy. It's not just one layer of paint and it's done. I doubt myself almost every time I start. And maybe some people feel good to hear that because it's a natural part of the process. It's like as soon as we see that, or we feel like we're not doing what everyone else is doing, you can feel like it's wrong. You can feel like, I don't know. For me, I've been really buckling under this pressure of people are going to hate this. People are going to have their stupid comments. Like, let them have their stupid comments. Things need to matter to you, and paying attention to what everyone wants. I don't want to be friends with everyone. This is what happens. Here. Perfect. Stupid 9 of Swords. It's even stupider than the 8. The 8 is a blockage. Also, just side note to this card, because I'm working on that one. I don't know what to do. I'm trying something different, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but I want to try it. I'm drawing a sloth for air. Like, what animal would they be? Anyway, 9 of Swords is our anxiety. It's where we just completely buckle and surround ourselves with the what ifs. And that's exactly what I've just been talking about. Because I doubt myself and like I procrastinate, and I've been procrastinating around this one thing. And when I actually get into the right zone, I tell myself, you have proof you know how to do this. Sure, it's challenging. It might take a few days. Sure, someone's waiting for you, but the longer you... like I get really caught up in commissions because I don't want to disappoint people. I don't want that, I don't want to say unwanted opinion, but when you put hours of something, like work into something, and you send to a person and they have like a list of things that they think is wrong with it, it can feel like, oh man, I don't even want to talk about it. We know those feelings. And it sucks because the magic that we're making, it comes from a place of feeling, for me at least. I don't want to just get a painting done for the sake of getting a painting done. They have meaning to me. And when something comes back, yeah, I can feel like, holy cow, I really fucked up. But it's like, no, you have the skill, you have the ability, you know how to do this. After years of having our asses handed to us, I think it's fair to say that maybe our confidence is a little wonky. On the other side is conflict, and there's hearts surrounding. So something that you care about is feeling kind of like squished in the middle, and I get it. Like I look at my skills, and just as I can say I see my skills, I doubt them. Ooh. Let's keep going. I think anyone who's really good at what they do doubts themselves in a healthy amount. Because the doubting is where we challenge ourselves and move through into like making that magic happen. I want more coffee. All right. Under the surface of the Magician, like this is where we look at, are there any doubts under there? Is there just something we're working on? Is there something that we don't see about this magic, which is surrounded by incredible tension? I know we want to do the right things. I know we want people to see that we have a skill, that something we're doing really matters. Yes, I like it. It's kind of funny because here's these people in these little coffins down here. And this is like our individual experiences. And this can be when we're feeling like there's no way out. Like that darkness. I've been in there. I have my moments where I'm like, still down here. Like, no. Something is calling you. You're meant to achieve good things. You have the magic in you. Like the magician is also all about manifestation, which I really appreciate. It's like you know how to bring things in. You know how to make shit happen. Maybe shit isn't happening right now, so it can feel like Five of Wands and Nine of Swords really kind of sucks, but I understand the tension and the anxiety surrounding it. But with this, it's like you're leveling up. You can't see it because it's on the bottom row here. I like it as stuff we don't really see. But something is calling you. And whenever there's an angel in the sky, I always like to say that your loved ones who have passed are cheering you on. And you've discovered something in you. It hasn't been presented yet. But the fact that you're actually, like you're doing it. It might not feel like you are, because there are so many setbacks. But let's just see what's going on with the Nine of Swords. Our anxiety. Maybe we're focused on the wrong thing. Likely. Like, where does the anxiety go? Is it to the past? Is it about the future? Is it everywhere? Nine of Swords I want to put on my radar because I don't know what to do for that card. I have a couple of ideas, and it's a tough one. So we have Nine of Wands now. Okay. Yeah, we've been kind of beat up. Things aren't going at all the way that we anticipated. Expectations kind of a little bit of a letdown. Because with the Nine of Wands, to me, well, it is the wounded warrior. It's someone who's been over and over and over and over, going through something over and over. When things become a pattern, we do have to ask, am I making this happen? You could get stuck on worry, and that worry just, it makes its way into your life because the ego likes to be right. And it's just like, see, there's that thing. I protected you from it. Even though you probably went after it because it felt familiar. Like taking accountability for the ways that you kind of fuck up. I've been in it, been looking at it. And I get kind of down on myself, and I think, why didn't I see that sooner? Why haven't I been doing anything about it? It's like, well, you are doing something about it. It's right here, but what's this conflict? Conflict in the past. Could be family, could be friends, could just be life itself, could be anything. I always like building these stories to see, like, what is the depth of this conflict? And if it's self-related, can we dig in? Too much. Okay, it wants to come out. That's creepy. It kind of fell out funny. I like it when it flips out. And so I put it back with another card and then shuffled a little bit, and then it flipped out like on my thumb, which doesn't really happen that often. Kind of creepy. We're meant to have it. There's urgency. As I think that, I'm like, I should have my coffee. I just don't want it to get cold. So 100%, we don't feel like we're where we're supposed to be. It's kind of hard to spit out. The Eight of Wands is like fast motion. And when there's conflict on the surface, like you think of how on the inside, like your hamster wheel is running, but you on the outside, you're just a little bit irritable. Like maybe you don't have space to just like, whew, go through the steps. Magician also makes me think of the steps. Like he learned the sleight of hand by practicing over and over and over. If he rushes it, it could be sloppy. But because of whatever's going on in the world is happening, we have a lot of wands. Like your creativity almost feels stifled. And I know the creative community in all directions, we're feeling challenged. We're feeling like, I'm not worth it. I've worked this hard for nothing. And on a bad day like that Nine of Swords, that's a big blockage. But the thing that I think of is that, like, swords make me think of left brain or corporate mindset. Like it's logical. It's logic. Logic isn't always the smarter approach. We need creatives more than ever. I need water now. But what I'm getting at with this card, there's an eyeball in the middle. And it's like, you know, you know what you're meant to do. It's really hard to maintain your vision or your stance in what it is that you do. But like in this core here, judgment and the magician, it's like you need to believe in yourself in order to prove yourself. And there's no proving either. The other thing that I want to talk about is, I guess you could call it a download, a message that I've had for a while. Fitting in versus belonging. We are here to belong to something. Like I've been giving up on trying to fit into like a work environment. I'm sick and tired of applying for jobs and then getting a job and it doesn't stick. And I feel like I'm just floating on the outside trying to like grasp onto something in hopes that it works out. Relationships, you name it. It's just like, why does it feel like we're racing around? Like, what are we even racing for? The urgency side of things, I think our brains are getting so trained to have things instantaneously because we have the internet and all of that shit. Like, we're spoiled. We're so spoiled for choice. All of it. But when we apply it to ourselves and our capabilities, it can get really annoying. It's like, well, you're a magician, and then you see other magicians online, and you're just like, oh, they're so much better than me. And then you drift into judgment, and then you stay down there and hide in your little coffins there. That's what that looks like. If we're surrounding ourselves with like this urgency, which then kicks our ass. Like that's what the 9 of Wands is about. It's like you're kicking your own ass. Oh, I feel called out, but let's keep going. Top row is stuff that we don't really see coming. It's a little bit of a hint. Maybe if we need help getting the things that are beneath us out to the surface. There was a card flipped over, but I don't know if it flipped over for this. We'll see. 3 of Wands was there. More wands. Be creepy if it does actually come out. Too many now. I just want it to like flip out. That's how I like cards coming out of the deck. 2 cards. I don't want that. They're both majors. Like the core of the reading is pretty great. But what is ahead of the magician? Okay. So 3 of Wands wants to come out. And I'm taking this because why not? So we are a little spoiled for choice. Like this is options in front of us. Sometimes it can be seen as like, can't see clearly, but I feel like we're learning we have a lot more to offer than maybe like what's surrounding us is saying. It makes sense. Like for me as a creative in the creative industry, it feels like that. It's like I have no options when actually you do. You just have to find them and realign with them again. Because if you're a trained professional, chances are you have tons of other skills that are attached to that one skill. And this is saying like you're capable of expanding if you would release some of that judgment. Like you're really good at a lot of things. I like it. To go with it, 3 of Wands. We have more wands surrounding us, but this is all about like planning and looking ahead and saying, all right, I have the ability to put this out there, to put that out there. Like I'm looking at, I don't even know what to call it, like mentorship or coaching to help people who want to get in touch with their art. Like I want more people to do art. So come sit down with me and I'll get you to do more art because I feel like creativity is what keeps me going in this world. It's very hard to know what to do when I'm not expressing myself through art, whatever that might be. It could be poetry, it could be painting, it can be cooking. Like sometimes I really love making myself an awesome meal as a form of like self-care and just showing myself what I'm capable of doing in the kitchen. There's tons of stuff that can remind you. Like it gives me a sense of belonging with this because like this could be what we're trying to fit into and it hasn't been working. Meanwhile, look at all of your individual connections that surround you and support you. It's just giving me a bit of like the ways that you thought things were going to be just don't look the way you thought they would be. But that doesn't mean that they're wrong. You just have to look for them. Whatever direction we're going in, we do actually have the supports to help us through. It's funny because all these wands, we have less now. These are easy wands to carry. These are like our priorities even. And start with 3 or 3 steps. It reminds me of baby lists, like making a very short list. Oh, death wanted to come out. Like making a very short list of things that you want to achieve and going after it. Finding the right people to connect with, to guide you through it, or even to look up to. But realizing your emotional connections, I think, is what makes building and expansion possible. Above our anxiety, we're letting some shit go. And I think, who isn't at this point? Things are not what they used to be. In some ways, that's really sad. In other ways, it's like, yeah, that really wasn't working for me, was it? I'm going to sip this. I like how I said I was going to take a sip. That was the biggest gulp of my life because it's like starting to get cold. I just finished the 6 of Swords, 6 of Air, the cicada. I'm so happy with this card because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew I wanted something that like parts with an external shell, like sheds its skin. This is also about migration. This could be moving. This can be just simply like emotionally leaving something behind. We still have one more card, but this is in the same column as the 9 of Wands. So the ways in which we've kind of like, are we repeating a pattern over and over? Are we fearful of that pattern repeating itself? Can we scrap that mindset even and just say it's not happening this time? Like, what if you're fearful of all the ways in which you can fail? How about instead all the ways in which you can succeed? And then you switch that narrative around. It's like you actually, instead of the 7 of Cups being all confusing, it's like, oh, there's so many opportunities here and I don't need to get overwhelmed unnecessarily. I don't have to rush it. I don't have to like judgment and all that bullshit. It's so annoying. Grown-ups are so annoying. There's so many so many wands and swords. Wands are outnumbering. So one more. This surrounds conflict and urgency. I'm curious to see what's here. What do we not see coming? Ooh, I like it. Another 6. This is equal give and take. What you put in, you receive. And I think with the 6 and the 9 of Swords, I see a little bit of like a distancing from certain things in order to figure out, do I want more of this? Do I want less of that? Etc. Because the 6 of Coins to me, it is still like a, I guess, pros and cons situation. But what I'm getting is that we need to be mindful of the ways in which, say we have this balance, like we're feeling good. Someone steps in and it tips the scale. It throws everything off. Is there somebody or a habit or just, is there something that tips that scale? Are you wasting your energy on the wrong things by, it's either rushing through or rushing to conflict? Some people think conflict is like a natural part of the process. Like it doesn't have to be all conflict. I've been really great at avoiding it, but that's not to say that it makes it go away when we avoid it. The other thing I'm getting with the 6 of Coins is just simply how you show up for yourself. Can you talk to yourself differently so that instead of putting yourself down, like there's some heaviness here. All of these wands are really irritating. Like these are 2 big conflicts and then we're trying to rush it when there are actually important things that we want to do. Like these are the important wands. If we add up all of these, this is worse than the 10 of Wands, to be honest. But this can also be like prioritized and separate. If we say we have 9 of Wands, let's take that middle wand out of there because that's the one that holds all the crisscrosses together. You can't pull the other ones out. You probably can, but it's like, let's take the core, the root of it out and look at it. What is this? What is this shitty way that we're talking about ourselves? I'm also noticing that these wands look like a whole bunch of dicks. Whatever. Wands always do kind of look phallic. The 8 of Wands, just trying to rush through it, rush away from it. I still almost get like the Knight of Swords-ish energy there. But with this, it has kind of a motion to it where it feels very fast. We need to be careful where we're trying to rush separation, I guess, like peel the Band-Aid. In some cases, yes. Like if it's something that's really just this, We're moving through the suits. I know it's hard to move forward. It really is, because there's so many what ifs. We want to control everything. It's like all that control, it's keeping you away from really good things. And if you could just focus on those good things one at a time, you'll see that you have all these opportunities in front of you. If you would just ease up on yourself. Like, I see this as a self-talk card. I haven't been all that encouraging to myself, and I know that's a problem. Like, how are you not believing in yourself? You can tell others so easily what they're worth. But when it comes to you, like these almost make me think of all these expectations. Add some swords, and that's like our overthinking and overanalyzing. And this is just simple. Like, you're a fucking magician. You're a genius at what you do. You've been doing it your whole life because it's the magic of your life, whatever that is. Like, I think of the chefs in my life, the ones who can just cook up something so amazing, and they're so just, it is magic. It's like sorcery. That thing that comes naturally to you, it's funny when you can't see it. But if you release all that judgment and let go of, let's just say, maybe I'm not going to make anyone happy. No one. Maybe one person, let's just say. And that one person needs it. Doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. It's like, this isn't for you. It's not about, like, you don't belong here. The fitting in versus belonging, it's just, whew. I think of the internet, I think of all the ways in which it can really destroy things and how we actually see ourselves and show up in this world. Disconnect. I know it's hard to do it because it is such a mindless habit. Like, I'm looking at this. It's like, I know I've got to let this go. This is a really hard connection to release because it's always at my access, but something's getting in the way of my vision and I need to move forward, or else I'm not going to achieve the things that I'm meant to achieve. And we don't even need to document it. We don't have to share it with everybody in order for it to be real. We don't have to get likes in order for it to be important. Like, just do the thing. Get back to the old school way of giving back to yourself. I see that as pentacles, like the traditional old way of doing things in life, just to catch up with yourself and remember, this is what I'm supposed to do. I hope this makes sense. I want to shuffle an animal and then we're ending it because this is a really long video and I need to get a video up because I feel bad. I've been doing so many readings and it's like, are you actually going to post this? Because there's some stuff where I've said things and I think, ooh, that's my ooh moments, like where thoughts come out and I think, I needed to hear that. I don't know. Part of me thinks, well, I'm probably the only one who listens to it. But if these messages hit, let me know if anyone listens this far. Okay, I'm going to take it. It's 2 cards. We got the wasp, not my favorite, but it happens. Sometimes life stings. Like, look at the ways this lines up with a lot of that. Sometimes things don't work out, but what do we need to do? We need to be loyal to what we love because this is the playful energy that we need. Who wants to hang out with a wasp versus a dog? It's like the duality of that. This is Gemini right here. We're in Gemini season. But look at those places. How can we move through the pain of whatever it is that's been hurting us or keeping us down or making us feel like shit, etc.? Yeah, life stings. I'm kind of feeling this within my creative path. Like, yes, your experiences have kind of not gone the way you hoped they would, but maybe it's leading you somewhere because you continue to stay loyal to what you love and there's always a good outcome. The magician, going back to that. You're meant to manifest it. You just need to believe it. Be careful with your thoughts. You don't want a swarm of wasps in your life. Keep going, keep growing. I know you want to do your best, but I think I'm talking to myself here. You need to push just a little bit harder. I know it's scary. I know that life is in like this weird pocket of comfortable discomfort. You're a little fearful. It's hard to know what to expect, but I mean, you've kept it up this long. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just going to stop because I know I always think about, how am I ending these videos? What am I saying again? Like, I believe in you is a good one. I'm proud of you is a really good one. But the latest just feels so dismissive, and maybe we need that. But you're going to be fine.